Parker is joining us. She's been a great friend of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She and I have traveled the globe representing Houston, trying to bring business to Houston, and she did a phenomenal job leading our city and continues to do so in a different role today. So we're going to learn a little bit more about what she's doing. Tell us, Mayor, you've got a tremendous, a great platform of speaking on behalf of so many people during your career, serving in a political role that was an elected office and now a nonprofit. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
You know, I've embarked on my third career.
Yes.
I had a 20-year career in the oil industry, 18 years in full-time public life. And I actually spent a year at a large nonprofit here in Houston, Baker Ripley.
That's
great
right.
organization.
Yes. Teaching at Rice as well. I know you
Teaching
taught
at Rice.
Rice.
But I think I've found my stride right now. I am the CEO of the LGBTQ Victory Fund and the Victory Institute, PAC, and the C3 organization. Yes. And the shorthand is it's the gay version of an Emily's List. Okay. It's a bundling organization. We only support out LGBT candidates. But what's happening this year around the country is absolutely amazing. More women running for office, more candidates of color running for office, more LGBT candidates, more immigrant candidates than ever in American history.
Yes.
I won't call it a blue wave, but it's a change wave.
Yes.
People who are frustrated at what they see in Washington, and they want to make a difference, and they want to get involved in community. Yeah. And so I am working to help. Well, we've endorsed more than 270 candidates across the country. Okay. And so I am flying to big cities, small towns, working with candidates, working with donors, building the progressive wave that's sweeping across America.
And helping fund those campaigns,
and helping
clearly.
fund those campaigns.
So I am an eternal optimist, but even I, most recently, have just been feeling this sense of, can anyone make a difference? And I want to believe they can, and I think one of the ways is exactly with what you're saying. People with different experiences who can speak on topics, and then you look at all that's happening in Washington, and you look, if you pay attention, you'll find the one, maybe two women in the audience, and I think women do bring something different to the table.
We do. We not that we're better or worse at governing, it's that we bring different skills and we think about things differently, and often women champion different issues. And a lot of the candidates I'm working with are women candidates. There's some amazing women running in Texas, but I hear what you just said a lot, and that one person can't make a difference. A friend of mine is Kate Brown, who is the current governor of Oregon, and she's one of the Victory endorsed candidates. She's running for re-election. She's the governor of Oregon by 7 votes. Statewide race, 7 votes, her first race. Those kinds of statistics come out all the time. Sylvester Turner, the mayor of Houston, closer to home, he had maybe 1,000, 1,500 votes in a city of 2.2 million people. Right. Every vote counts, and every individual has an opportunity to make a difference. But it doesn't have to start at the biggest level. You can make a difference in your neighborhood, and I am a very big believer that each of us has a responsibility to engage in community. Now, I happen to know your daughters. I know you're teaching them that same thing, that yes, you can do things that are good for your career, you can do things that are good for your family, but you have to do things that are good for the community as well, and every one of us needs to be a volunteer. I was in public office because I started out as a community volunteer and kept seeing things that needed me to work on them, and I built a network, and then I stepped into office, and so that I could make a difference in the things that I cared about. That's what people need to think, that they're not one person. They are a person who can connect to other people and to other people and to other people and start a change. And
open those doors and bring people to the table and help drive an agenda that's good for the community, as you mentioned. And you talked about something important about community, and in addition to your business career, your career as a politician now in the nonprofit sector, you've been a foster parent. How has that changed your life? What are some of the lessons you've learned, because you manage a family?
And a foster parent, adoptive parent. We have 4 kids, 2 of whom we formally adopted, 2 that we fostered. But they're all now adults, and they were all. The youngest was 7 when she came into our life. Biggest challenge I ever had, and probably the most impact on the world, to help send 4 functioning, healthy adults out to make a living. Although I say that, 2 youngest ones are still living at home, so I haven't quite launched them. But it's a whole nother conversation for another show. But we need more foster families. We need more adoptive families. And the idea that a child will grow up in foster care, because what people don't understand about foster care, it's not they're in a foster home for years. No, they're in this foster home, and a year later they're in another foster home, and another one, and another one, and another one. There is no stability in the foster care system, and then they age out, and they have no support network. That's what we have to change.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for that and so many other things, for being a real, true leader and being on one of our first shows here on the KUBE 57. Your support of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, our personal relationship, you've been a true friend, and we've got to get together for a Stroh's game very soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us today here on KUBE 57. I'm Dr. Loudon Moody, and we want to thank our guests that were here with us today. We'll see you next time. On behalf of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Board and staff, we thank you for joining us.